What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the Wheel of Fate quest number 1, and we're going to see the defenders here, the nodes they have, and the best options you can use, and also who I used. So starting off with Gorr here, you have to deal with a bit of a special 1, special 2 situation. So the defender starts with 4 special lockdown charges, with 1 being removed when the defender uses a special 1. So normally in Gorr, you want to bait special 1s and avoid, taking blocked hits because he can place those debuffs. But if you bait 4 special 1s, he then becomes special locked on the special 1, and he pretty much has to use a special 2 basically. So yeah, it can be tough. I recommend if you push him to special 2, which you're gonna have to, definitely, even if you're not confident dexing it, try to dex it, because it's better to actually take it to the face than block it and get like tons of shocks, bleeds, and stuff like that on you. So just watch out for that. Also the root here, this scared stiff, and then obstinate charge. You don't really have to worry about that too much because you're not gonna parry him at all. So you can use 2024 champions here. There's quite a lot of options for this fight, but we're gonna talk about the best ones. So the champion that I used personally was Leader. And Leader, if you're really aggressive, spam the special 1s, you can reverse his healing. It's actually a pretty good fight. Now, if you don't have Leader, I recommend Isofiend. She's pretty good. She can nullify a lot, ramp up a lot, deal a lot of damage if you have like a good ranked up Isofiend. I'm not sure if White Tiger is going to be able to out damage his healing. Deathless She-Hulk is also a really good option. If you don't have Leader, she can reverse the healing as well. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know if the others are going to be able to kill him with the regen. Maybe your Deathless Thanos if you get ranked for like I do. But honestly, those mystics should be the best ones. Now moving on to Dazzler here. So there's 2 things you need to watch out for Dazzler here. First thing is this one. You don't want to get rooted if you're far away for 3 seconds. So just try to stay close. Also, you need to watch out for the Dazzling Dash, her own ability. So because you get faltered, you can't really intercept that well. And then lastly here, when you gain a bar of power, she gets 2 of those dynamo charges. And when you knock her down, she consumes them to get power. So that can be tricky if you push their special 2, because if you do, there's a lot of block damage. It's really hard to dex, and it might be game over. Now, the options you can use, there's not great options here. Obviously, I used Penny Parker, definitely the best one. I don't see a reason why Odin or Chavez wouldn't work, but Penny Parker is 100% the best one. You can also benefit from the node where she gets power when you knock her down, so you can ramp up Penny. So 100% the best option is Penny. Moving on to Lady Deathstrike. This is a terrible fight. So she takes 90% reduced damage from everything except specials, and then you deal 200% more attack for each bar of power you spend. So this fight is annoying because Lady Deathstrike, she heals most of the damage when you hit her with specials. Unless you intercept her, I think you can intercept her 5 times to reduce the healing by 50%. Also, there's this node where every 15 seconds you lose all your power unless you're performing a special or you're dashing back. So make sure to not lose the power, because that's how you deal damage. So this fight kind of sucks because the options are not the greatest. Now, I think the absolute best option here is Corvus Clave. I just don't know how many people have a Corvus Clave, because he's got, really good access to armor break, and then he can go for like some special 2s if she doesn't have the ferocity, because there's also that thing you need to watch out for. If she has the ferocity, she goes like unstoppable mid special, so you need to watch out for that. So honestly, man, if you don't have Corvus, maybe even Nova works that well because he has an armor break, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to tell you who I used. I used Infamous Iron Man, and I think he's one of the best options if you don't have Corvus, because when you use Infamous Iron Man, you go for the special 3 when you get the Aura of Iron, and basically that gives you and the opponent a really strong Energize, which just lets you build up to another special 3 quickly. And basically every time I used my special 3 with my rank 3 Infamous Iron Man, I did 5% each time. So it took me, I think, 15 minutes, but it's because I was, messing around with special 2s. I want to see if I deal some damage. I'm going to say you can probably do this with iDoom in like 10 minutes. If you're only spamming special 3s, you probably need like almost 10 special 3s to kill her. So, sorry, not 10, 20 special 3s, but you get them real fast when you have the Energize. But, it's just a long fight. Because Lady Deathstrike is pretty easy to fight, to be honest. Now, this fight, honestly, man, this is really fun. But it's only because I used the Onslaught, though. So she has Matador. She has unblockable specials, fully unblockable by the way. So if you bait the special one, every single hit is unblockable. So you need to watch out for the last hit. And the last hit is basically 1 dex at the last moment. So I think I actually learned it now. Like I'm probably going to be able to do this on the next quest as well. But hey, honestly, very good fight. So you can use those champions. You have Onslaught, Juggernaut, Dust, Mr. Sinister, Destroyer, Jack, Professor X, and Strife. So 100% the best option is Onslaught because he also bypasses miss. Does tons of damage. Very good for this fight. Also, you can bait a special one from Enchantress. Let her incinerate or cold stamp you, shock you, whatever, so that you place a ton of neuroshocks on her. But just let's just say you don't have Onslaught, I would probably go with either Juggernaut or Professor X because they just have the most damage out of those three, out of those two, or out of those selection of champions. But I really hope you have Onslaught because Onslaught just kind of cheeses this fight. Moving on to Thor Ragnarok here. Bit of a weird fight. There's a couple of things you need to watch out for. So he has parry, so if you try to intercept him, he has a chance to auto block you. And if he does, you get stunned. So definitely don't try to intercept him. Now, he has that combo shield. I believe Thor Ragnarok, when he goes above 60 combo, he gets a bit of power gain. Let me see. Now, each time Thor gains 40 hits on the combo meter or strike 20 times, he gains the boon of the gods. So that's where he gets the power gain. So you need to actually be aggressive to reset his combo. However, there's one thing you don't have to worry about Thor Ragnarok is the special 3. So the special 3 is capped at 20% damage. So if you are shock immune, you're actually not going to take a lot of damage at all. So those are the selection of champions you can use. I personally went for Wong because Wong is literally immortal if you ramp him up. And I think I soloed, I think I soloed it. But it's honestly very easy fight with Wong. You can also try Atom Warlock. Atom Warlock does tons of damage. But yeah, definitely those two are the best ones. You just need to watch out for, you know, this combo up and then this other node where you need to actually bait a heavy attack from him to stop this brace passive, which basically lets him go unstoppable at the end of your specials or, you know, special 1, special 2 or heavy attack. So you're going to see an unstoppable timer. Just bait a heavy attack so that he doesn't go unstoppable. And then it's a pretty easy fight. Moving on to Arcade here. So this Arcade here, you can't really spam heavies because you're gonna get faltered. He is also immune to stun and he can parry you. Not the craziest fight, honestly. You can definitely use, where is it? Vox. This is who I used. And he works pretty well. You can counter this auto block pretty well with the Undermine. You also have Scream with the Undermine, really good. Gorr also has Undermine. So those 3 are the best options. You can also, I guess, use like Onslaught maybe if you didn't use them for Enchantress, but I would personally definitely use them for Enchantress. Moving on to Leader here. Leader is a bit of an annoying fight. I somehow soloed it with Titania, so he has a clone to counter, so it's pretty annoying. You need to be very aggressive in order to not die from that degen. You also get a power gain when you parry him, which can also be bad for you because he can reverse through with his petrifies and stuff like that. But honestly, man, it's just a big leader. Just try to stay away from the middle of the map because that's where he has the door and it's pretty annoying there. But there's a lot of good options you can use for this fight. Unfortunately, I couldn't use my spot because Disorient is there, so you can't really use spot to get your portal blocks there. So kind of sucks. Now, I would say if you didn't use Wong, he could probably work for this fight. I'm not gonna lie, he's just so good for this type of content. But like the best options here, definitely Titania, definitely Mantis, and Black Cat. Those 3 are 100% the best ones. Moving on to Bullseye. Bullseye is pretty much, if you have 2 options, you win. If you don't, you lose. So he doesn't really have anything in terms of notes. He just purifies a bit. But best option here, clearly Mrs. Sinister. If you don't have Mrs. Sinister, you're going to struggle. But to be honest, Warlock should be able to do this fight fairly well, just not as good as Mrs. Sinister. Just, yeah. If you don't have Warlock or Mrs. Sinister, don't even attempt this. I'm not even kidding. It's a tough fight. Torch here, a bit of a problematic fight. So when Human Torch has several smolders on himself and 20 temperature, he enters Nova Flame. So hopefully that doesn't happen in the fight. But here's the annoying part of this fight. All of the defenders attacks, all of the attackers specials and base attacks are overridden to be contact attacks and to deal only physical or energy damage. So basically you start hitting him and then you deal physical damage. When you use a heavy attack, you switch to energy, and every time you hit a torch with energy attacks, he gains smolders. So when you use a heavy attack, you need to immediately use another heavy attack to switch from the energy back to the physical attacks. That's really important for this fight, and you're gonna have to use a heavy attack in this fight because he has some sort of protection here where you need to hit him with the first time for your medium combo, you have the final hit of your heavy attack, and the final hit of your special attack. So that's how you remove those 3 protection stacks, and you need to do all 3 of them for them to reset. So that's one thing you need to watch out for. And then when the attacker gains a bar of power, he also goes a bit of debuff immune, so he might be stun immune for a few seconds of the fight. So yeah, best options here though, we have not too many. Stark Spidey, 100% the best option here, with Piggy as well. I personally used Piggy because I feel like he's just faster for those long fights. You can go for like the special 3. And I think I used like 1 revive with this guy, maybe 1 or 2. Because you go for the special 3 and then if you're lucky to bait a special 2 and then lock those porker poppers back, you just deal so much damage. So definitely the best option before Stark Spidey. Or actually no, he's even better than Stark Spidey. Now, moving on to Serpent here. This fight sucked for me because I didn't have Spiral. As you can see, his effects when he's far away from you are Pause here, Fury, Power Gain, and stuff like that. Whenever the defender is immune to or afflicted with Nullify, they become stun immune, so that's another thing to watch out for. And then if you go basically more than 2 bars of power, you lose the power. So for this fight, we have to use basically either Kindred or Wiccan. I actually thought Spiral was an option, but I guess I was wrong. So yeah, just use Wong or Kindred. Those champions are the best ones, but you're still gonna have to use revives here. I think I used my rank 3 Kindred and it was like 3 or 4 revives. It's just how it goes. The longer the fight goes with Serpent, the harder it gets. Moving on to Spiral here. Tricky fight, honestly, one of the hardest in this quest. The nodes are pretty tough. So she has Combat Deja Vu unblockable, so if you use the same attack twice in a row, she gets the unblockable. Then she has this Obstinate Charge, which is really annoying. The same node that Gorr had. You have to basically repair to get openings. Now she throws her blades when she activates a special, so that can catch you as well. And if he catches you, he stuns you, so you're gonna get clipped by that special. And then every 15 hits on your combo meter, you get a Falter passive. Really annoying, to be honest, for just a Spiral. Now, if you have, I think the actual best option for this fight is probably Wong, because it's kind of a tricky fight, I'm not gonna lie. But if you don't have your Wong, or if you already used Wong, I'd say Deathless She-Hulk. That's who I used. Deathless She-Hulk just does tons of damage. You can easily bait specials as long as you put some traumas on her. And I feel like, yeah, it's definitely those 2 options will be the absolute best ones. Moving on to Dust here, a bit of an annoying fight as well, because whenever she gets an armor buff, she has a chance to glance, and if she glances, you get that sand on you. However, if it happens, you can basically, it's this node, whenever the attacker stuns the defender, 1 buff is nullified off of both of the attacker and defender. So if you want to parry, or if you need to like nullify, you can parry, and then she loses a buff, you lose a buff. So the options you can use here, number 1 is Ironheart. You want to actually incinerate her. Really nice fight. I believe I soloed it. It went really well with my rank 2 Ironheart. Very good option. If you don't have Ironheart, I suggest Stark Spidey. He's pretty fast as well, but Ironheart is also really great because she can parry non-contacts. Then moving on to the final boss here, only 3 nodes here. All specials are passively unblockable, Combat Deja Vu weakness, and then you basically have reverse controls, and then you don't. So it's definitely tough for the brain. Now there's only those champions you can use, only mutants: Domino, Storm, Colossus, Danny, Sunspot, and Depth Source. So Domino is definitely the number 1 if you don't have Jean Grey. I believe Jean Grey is here, but she doesn't appear for me because I don't have her. And also same thing to that previous Serpent fight. She just didn't appear because I didn't have her, I guess. But yeah, the best option is Jean Grey because she is immune to reverse control, so you don't have to worry about that single node at all. Best option. Now there's Danny. Danny's pretty good. She has that passive slow. There's also Domino. There's a chance to get that crit bleed. However, I have to tell you that Domino can sometimes fail the reverse controls, and sometimes you might think you're gonna be reversed, but she's actually gonna fail it, and it's gonna be normal. So just one thing to keep to watch out for. I would say if I could choose to actually use Storm, I would probably use Storm instead of Domino. I'm not gonna lie. No, Domino is pretty you know, dry RNG on the special sometimes, whereas Storm is kind of guaranteed if you can keep your prowess. But I'd say use Jean Grey if you got her from that Titan Crystal. If you don't, I would probably use like the highest ranked champion that I have from this. Even Deadpool Expert should be fairly good. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for the first quest here. I think I spent like 15 revives in total. I definitely could have done this better. But now that I actually know the nodes for the next quest, like this is the exact same nodes, exact same defenders, I'm probably gonna do better on the next one. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.